Welcome to the 2020 State of Downtown, the annual meeting for Downtown Boise Association in 33rd year. I'm Jen Hensley, DBA Executive Director, and we're coming to you from inside Boise Center's virtual event studio in the heart of our city. While this event is virtual, we hope to share the message that downtown Boise is open for business and needs you now. A sincere thank you to our supporting sponsors, Capital City Development Corporation and the City of Boise, as well as our hospitality sponsor, Holland & Hart. And to all of our event sponsors, we appreciate you and all that you do for downtown. Shortly, we will reflect on 2019, sharing information that shows the vibrancy and momentous growth downtown has experienced for many years. The message we shared last year, that downtown Boise has become one of the most celebrated downtowns in the country, is true even today. And downtown businesses are open and ready to welcome you. This is your downtown. Downtown is where we build both business and community, and downtown Boise needs you now. I'd like to thank Mayor McLean for sharing the following message.
Hello, Boise. I'm happy to join you virtually for this year's State of Downtown. And while just like you, I wish we were here in person, I do believe it's so important that we celebrate where we are and where we'll go together moving forward, even if we have to do it virtually. It's hard to believe also that it's only September, and these months have been tough on all of us, on us as people and families, and of course on our businesses. And I want to applaud really and thank each and every one of you downtown who's stepped up and done what's been required of us in these last couple months. And that's been to think differently about how we provide our services and open our businesses here in Boise, and to think about how we support our family, friends, and loved ones, and also our employees. It hasn't been easy, but we've seen in the last couple months what it is that makes Boise so special, and what it is that I believe will be the key to our long-term ability to get through these tough times, to be successful and resilient, and to recover together. Here at the City of Boise, we were so pleased to partner with the Downtown Boise Association and CCDC and local businesses downtown to create the Boise on the Block initiative. And this in and of itself is a great example of how we work together and thought about how best to serve the public and our customers while keeping everybody safe so that we could open businesses. And I really appreciate the work of downtown merchants with Downtown Boise Association to help think of other ways that we can support businesses so they continue to thrive downtown. And a special thanks to the Highway District, to the state, and to all the agencies that worked with us to make Boise on the Block, and the new parklets and other things that are popping up a possibility. We know that the coming months, and likely years ahead, will require all of us to come together, to focus on solutions, to weather tough times. But I am sure that each of us will remain focused on the goal that we all share, which is to create a city for everyone, where each of us have the opportunity to live, to build a life that all of us dream about. And look forward to the partnerships in the years to come, but in the short term, to the partnerships that'll be necessary to ensure that we recover more resilient than before. So take care, everyone. To each of you, members of the Downtown Boise Association, our merchants that make our downtown so vibrant, and to each of you that works here, supports business here, runs businesses here, thanks for being a part of a very important part of our community and region. Take care, everyone. Be well.
The city today is lucky to have a really appreciate it. We'd like to introduce you to these directors, starting off with this year's board officers.
Hi, I'm Jess Carter, the president of the Downtown Boise Association Board of Directors. I have the privilege of introducing you to Kelly Hibbs.
Hi all, cheers. My name is the Board of Directors of the Downtown Boise Association. Today it's my privilege to introduce you to Mr. Wes Jost.
Hi, I'm Wes Jost. I've been with the Downtown Boise Association over 6 years. I am now president-elect, and I get the honor of introducing Mr. Jacob Swigert.
Hi, I'm Jacob, the DBA Board Treasurer.
We're in a park. We don't have to wear a mask.
Let's try that again. Hi, I'm Jacob, the DBA Board Treasurer. We'd like to introduce this year's new DBA Board members.
Hi, I'm Zach Zollinger. I'm an attorney at Holland & Hart in downtown Boise. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to another one of our new directors who you might know from one of our amazing downtown coffee shops, Ken Collins.
I'm Ken Collins, and I own the Flying M Coffee House. I'd like to introduce Tara Karen.
Osasuna. I'm Tara from the Bass Market. I'd like to introduce Chris Dwyer.
Hi, I'm Chris Dwyer. I'm a new board member at DBA. I'm an architect at Cushing Terrell in downtown Boise. And now on to another new board member, Caleb Donegan.
Hi, my name is Caleb Donegan. I'm the Vice President of Digital at Vacasa, Vacation Rental Management Company, with an office in the heart of downtown Boise. I've worked in downtown since moving here 8 years ago, and I'm incredibly excited to join the board and help continue to make downtown such a great place to both work and live. We'd like to thank those board members whose terms expired and are stepping away from the board in 2020.
Hello, my name is Cameron Lumsden, and my wife Amanda and I are the proprietors of Fork and Olavita, downtown Boise. And I was on the DBA board for 6 years, and it was an incredible experience with some amazing, dedicated individuals. One of my favorite experiences during my tenure on the DBA was when we toured the Anne Frank Memorial. That was a really inspirational time spent, and there was many more great experiences held within meetings of it was just a really great time with amazing people that are really dedicated to improving downtown Boise. So I feel thrilled and honored to have spent time, and I thank the DBA for all it has done for downtown Boise.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Chandler from Chandler Steakhouse in downtown Boise. I served on the board for 6 years and loved every single minute of it. Go Boise. Now let me introduce to you Dean Bennett, also a former board member. But first, let's take care of some business.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dean Bennett. I'm a partner at Holland & Hart. I served on the DBA board since 2013, and I was the sitting president in 2016. Now I'm the VP of Travis Burgess.
Hello, my name is Travis Burgess. I was a Downtown Boise Association board member for 6 years, serving many of those years on the executive committee as a treasurer of the association. I enjoyed every minute of my board involvement, and I love every minute I get to spend in downtown Boise. I'd like to introduce you to another outgoing board member, Mindy Grombeck.
Hi, I'm Mindy Grombeck with Hawkins Companies. Hawkins Companies is a commercial real estate developer that has 4.2 million square feet in 26 different states. Our headquarters is right here in downtown Boise. I just finished my 7th year with the Downtown Boise Association as past president. I've really enjoyed my time making connections with other board members as well as others in downtown and being an intricate part of what happens in downtown. Next, I'd like to introduce you to some current board members and new board members that are joining the Downtown Boise Association.
Hi, I'm Molly Ledbetter. I'm the owner of Merriweather Cider Company. Part of why I love downtown is because of all of the amazing restaurants and patios that we're so lucky to have down here. All the patio expansions have been fantastic. I would love to introduce now the next board member, Courtney Holden.
Shopping in downtown Boise is fun and exciting, and it could use our support now more than ever. I'd like to introduce to you Moya Dolsby, the director of the Idaho Wine Commission, and we are so happy to have her on our board.
I start my day with coffee and always end with wine. Next up, we have Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey Miller here, one of the owners of Shift Boutique and Keystone Station, two retail stores in downtown Boise, and we love First Thursdays. It's a great way to experience all the shops downtown and learn a little bit more about local breweries, wineries, and food vendors. And now here's Chad Johnson.
Hello, my name is Chad Johnson. I'm the owner of the Brickyard Steakhouse. I'd like to invite you to the Dine Out Downtown Restaurant Week running October 30th through November 8th, where fine restaurants like ours are featuring food and beverage specials. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jeremy Averman.
Good morning, new DBA board members. My name is Jeremy Averman. I own Liquid and Solid in the heart of downtown. My favorite things about downtown are Alive After 5, all the awesome restaurants and bars and shops, and all the vibrant nightlife. Welcome to the DBA. I hope to get to meet you in person sometime very, very soon.
Hello, everybody. Pat Maloney, proud member of the DBA, hanging out at the 208 bar at TMN Events. Normally it's full of people, but as we know, it's all part of the deal. But we're ready, we're staying alive, like all of us are hoping to do, and trying to reinvent ourselves and protect our great downtown as best as we can. I'm looking forward to the day when we can invite all the DBA members in here to have a cocktail of beer when everything is back up and running. Look forward to that day.
Hi, this is Jay Story, inviting you to downtown this holiday season to visit our most stable Christmas tree yet. And I would like to introduce you to Josh Jordan.
As a cyclist, downtown Boise can't be beat. From my daily commute to the Twilight Criterium and the access to mountainous trails, Boise's perfect.
Hi, I'm Rocky Johnson, Hump in Hand. It's in downtown Boise. Boise's downtown nightlife has always been vital and vibrant, and live music has already returned. I'm introducing my sister and good friend, Sophie Sestero.
I'm Sophie Sestero. I am an account supervisor at Falgren Moortine. We are a communications company in downtown Boise. I'm also a member of the Downtown Boise Association Board. When I am downtown, you can most often find me enjoying our vibrant arts and culture scene, whether that's a new exhibit at the Boise Art Museum, a play at Boise Contemporary Theater, something with Ballet Idaho, or just hanging out on the Basque Block. I am here to introduce our ex officio directors and our advisory members.
Hi, it's Marcia Gronsell from St. Luke's. Thanks for asking.
Hello, downtown Boise. CCDC has been your go-to infrastructure agency for over 50 years, so keep the projects coming. Personally, I've had a great ride, and I look forward to seeing you all down the road.
Hey, Jen and the DBA team. Bill Connors here at the Boise Metro Chamber in the heart of downtown. We love downtown Boise and proud to be a Downtown Boise Association member. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Garcia, and I'm music director of the Boise Philharmonic. And I'm joining you from beautiful downtown Boise. We can't wait to have you back here with us. But until then, we hope you'll join us on our new digital platform. We'll see you there very soon. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I haven't gotten a chance to meet a whole bunch of you, but I do want to say I appreciate everyone coming today to State of Downtown. It's 2020 and we're virtual because that is the state of downtown and the state of the world. I wanted to quickly just introduce myself. I'm Jen Hensley. I started with the organization back in November. And I started, and a couple of weeks later, the holiday tree fell over. And then, you know, a couple months later, the pandemic started. It's been an interesting first year, let's just say that. But I feel incredibly lucky to be here in Boise. I feel like there's no better place to be during this time. And I will wrap up my short statement by saying there's something I've identified that I've told a few of you that is how I feel about, or how I gather information about how people feel about the place that they live. I spent some time in Colorado, and the first question everybody asked me when I moved to Colorado was, do you ski? I spent some time in Minnesota, and the first question I was asked when I moved there was, where do you work? When I moved to Boise, the first question I get asked by almost every single new person I meet is, how much do you love Boise? That to me tells me what you all value about this city. And what I have come to learn is true. I do love Boise. I'm very glad to be here. So I'm going to share with you a little information. I'll show you our 2019 annual report. We all know 2019 was a fantastic year, but then I'm going to share some data and a survey that we did about current status in 2020. So let's go. This is our 2019 annual report. I'm not going to read all of this to you, but you can see here our annual report talks about financials. The organization was around a $1.1 million budget last year. Lynn Hightower left the organization last September. She was with us for about 4 years. and left in September, stayed on to help transition. I'm immensely thankful for that. She gave me a lot of her years of knowledge and started me out very well. And then I started in November. Our annual report will reflect what we did last year in a whole bunch of numbers. So starting out with marketing. So as you can see here, we have newsletters, Instagram numbers, Facebook numbers. You'll see some of the highlights here are that we delivered 221,000 newsletters last year. That's a metric of how many newsletters we do per week per how many are opened. We had 663,000 website page views. Our top 3 pages being our events calendar, our happy hours, and our dining pages. And we did $276,000 in sales of downtown gift cards. We have events and promotions. We did 13 events, which accounted for 54 event days. We had 11 promotions, which accounted for 83 promotion days. We, through all of our events and our gift card donations, we raised $33,000 for local nonprofits. We utilized 600 volunteers at our DBA events. We estimate that there were 130,000 people in total that attended DBA events in 2019. Clean, safe, and attractive. As you know, downtown is beautiful because of the flower pots and because our downtown maintenance team keeps everything so spick and span. We also do banners. We hung 1,478, to be very specific, banners throughout downtown. There were 509 flower pots in 2019. The downtown maintenance team, there were 6 of them over the year, and they worked just under 10,000 hours. And then we have, I wanted to include our walk score and our bike score because those are very high and they're very good numbers. So we have a walk score of 80, a bike score of 98 out of 100. We also wrapped 200 streetlights with holiday lights, 10 intersections. We put up the snowflake lights that everybody loves, and we hung 45 holiday wreaths. The final page of our annual report is truly just a list of all the wonderful people that make everything happen here through our board, our ex officio directors, and our advisory members, who you all just met in the video. But this annual report will live on our website. I hope that you will utilize it as a tool to talk about how great downtown is, and use these numbers to really push the idea that downtown is fantastic. And even as we're in 2020, all of these things are still true and still happening. Your DBA is working hard for you. So we're going to go from the annual report to our survey results. So we ran a survey of downtown business owners and employees for 10 days at the end of August. We received responses from about 75 different businesses. And the goal of the survey was to gather data around the questions: how are you doing? How's your emotional, physical, and financial health? What are the ways in which you've been impacted in the last few months? And how's your business doing? This survey was intended for business owners and employees. So we wanted to get all this information together to share. First question was, how would you rate these things for you personally? Overall physical health, emotional, social health, and financial health. And I just picked up a few highlights here that I thought were interesting. 72% of respondents selected that they feel like they're an excellent or good across all 3 health metrics. 31% indicated that their emotional, social health is fair, and 10% marked that they were in for poor or financial health. So the message I'm getting here is that 72% of people feel like they're doing pretty good, but we do have a larger number of folks who are feeling that their emotional and social health is not as good, and 10% that are feeling that their financial health is not great. Question 2, this was just to get an idea of who was answering this survey. So almost 70% of respondents owned a business downtown, and a good number of the rest of the respondents worked or managed a business downtown. Question 3 was asking, we're trying to hone in with this one about who's in downtown, who's working from home, and who's kind of in between. So almost 70% of respondents indicated that they're downtown at their place of employment 50% or more of the time. Half of the respondents marked that they are working downtown between 76 to 100% of the time. On the contrary, well, 36% noted that they are working from home at the same percentage. So I extrapolated this based upon some survey numbers that we had from 2017, noting that there were around 38,000 jobs in downtown. So this indicates that there are right around 19,000 employees in downtown daily right now, while approximately 13,500 are working from home, leaving that remaining about 5,000 or 14% working between downtown and home. This is just a good idea of how many folks are down here in this current situation. This was an interesting metric. Downtown Boise makes up only 2% of the city's land area, but we deliver outsized benefits holding 24% of Boise's jobs. Taking this number and extrapolating it out again over those employee numbers, we can assume that throughout the city, outside of downtown, there's approximately another 43,000 people working from home. So the next question we had was just trying to get an idea of who all was answering the survey. So you can see here the 5 pieces of the pie that are a little bigger. We got really good response from everybody kind of across all industries. That was important because downtown industries are big time employers. When you think of who's down here and how we hold 24% of the jobs citywide, the leisure and hospitality industry is 7.9% of all employment in Idaho. The retail industry is 12.1%, and professional and business services are 12.5%. So when you take these numbers and you pull them back and think about all of those that are working downtown, working from home, it's a good idea that we need to figure out how to get those that are working from home out on the weekends, feeling safe, getting them downtown, because these are big numbers that we need to support both on the employer level and supporting those business owners. Although the leisure and hospitality industry accounts for 10.6% of all employment in Idaho, this industry specifically has suffered 35% of all the jobs lost in the state since the beginning of March. This is downtown is a big employer of leisure and hospitality people. So when you think of this, that 10.6% of the state's employees are taking up 35% of unemployment right now. Seems like I might have lost my slides. I don't know what's going on here. Let's try again. Staff, can you see these? Yes, okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened to my slides. All right, so as I was saying, we'll go to the next slide. So question 5 in the survey was, compared to this time last year, how's your business doing in terms of revenue? As you can see here, almost 40% of our respondents reported that they're down 50% or more in revenue. Again, while 15% of the businesses in this question indicated that they're doing the same or better than this time last year, almost 20% are down 70% or more. One business indicated that they're down $34 million. Another noted that they've still been closed since March. I wanted to pull in a few national trends to reflect these numbers. Consumer spending across all restaurants has fallen 21.4% comparing the first 7 months of 2020 to the first 7 months of 2019. National trends are showing that we're going to lose 2 out of every 3 independent restaurants. This number right here is showing that consumer spending has fallen 21.4%, definitely reflects that. In other industries, clothing accessories are down 36.5%, services are down 13.3%, sporting goods and hobbies, which includes bookstores, are down 2.2%. So these numbers are the first 7 months of the year. There is a bit of a bright side here in the sense that second quarter numbers compared to first quarter did change a bit. Games, toys, and hobbies went up 11% in the second quarter of 2020. Personal care went up 2%. That includes, say, hairdressers and the services, the wonderful spa services that we have downtown, those sorts of things. Recreational goods, including books, are up 8% from Q1. And US consumer spending rose a moderate 1.9% in July. One metric that's been important this year, we feel like people are pivoting quite a bit to online. So we asked businesses how much percentage of their business is done online. 6% indicated that 81 to 100% of their business is done online. 42% indicated 10 to 40% is online, but 51% of downtown businesses said that they're not conducting business online right now. With that information in mind, the census.gov is reporting that e-commerce is greatly ticking up. In the second quarter of 2020, US retail e-commerce sales specifically increased 31.8% from the first quarter. E-commerce sales in the second quarter of 2020 accounted for 16.1% of total retail sales across the nation. And total retail sales for the second quarter decreased from 3.9% from the first quarter. So you can see here a shift. Retail sales have dropped slightly, but e-commerce has gone up considerably compared to that drop. Question 7 was about concern, in the sense of how concerned you are about unemployment, economic recession, going out of business, lack of government assistance, lack of affordable and safe healthcare. Some of these questions had very strong indicators. 90% responded that they were very or moderately concerned about a recession. Some of them, the lack of affordable and safe childcare was split about 50-50, with some having some level of concern and some having none at all. Going out of business was again fairly split. We had 37% say that they were very or moderately concerned, and 28% said they're not at all concerned. It feels like these numbers are showing the diversity of businesses down here and how some are definitely getting hit harder by this pandemic than others. Question 8 is, what safety and or other measures are you taking at your place of business? We want to continually reiterate that downtown is safe. Downtown businesses are safe. Almost 100% responded with employees wearing face coverings and that they are enhancing their cleaning and disinfecting. 85% and more indicated that they're asking customers or clients to wear face coverings, that they're limiting the number of people in an area, and 30 to 40% said they're even taking additional measures in the sense of temperature checks and contact tracing and reporting. This question had quite a few other responses in it. Some businesses said that they were asking their employees to travel quarantine, offering paid sick leave and paid employee virus testing. A restaurateur answered that they're doing contactless dining. Several folks said that their employees were wearing gloves. Several responses again said that there was a COVID pre-screen for every employee before every shift. And a couple noted that they had submitted plans to Central District Health that have been approved. Again, downtown is safe. Question 9 was again about concern. This is everything from health of you and your employees to likelihood that you or someone you work with will get COVID, to people not keeping physical distance. You can see here these concern lines is what I was calling them. That blue line there, the very concerned, there's a lot of people are very concerned about overall health of them and their employees, not very concerned about customers or clients being upset about safety measures. And again, very concerned about being able to retain customers. And then question 10 was just asking who wants to share with us, who has information that they want us to know. We got quite a few responses to this one. I just pulled out a few because I saw a through line in all of these. The first one was the first round of PPP was a great help to small businesses, but we really need another round of it for most of us to be able to survive and provide jobs for those currently out of work and looking to return. The next one, this is a very scary time for everyone, but especially small business owners. We are being very vigilant regarding the virus, not knowing how much longer this situation will continue. It's very scary. And this last comment, as a small business, I have adjusted shifts to limit exposure from each other, all the while adjusting days off for mental days. Also worrying about safety exposure to the crew on their free time. I've had 2 employees out for a combined total of 35 days for COVID protocol, none of which tested positive. The through line here is that all of these say small business, because that's what downtown's made of. Small businesses intermixed with everything else that makes down here wonderful. This last slide, I thought wrapped it all up. This was one comment on the survey. I've never worn so many hats and juggled so many balls in my entire life. It's okay. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. We'll get through this. We will get through this. And on that note, I would like to introduce you all to Matt, who is here from Department of Commerce. Thanks, Matt. Let's think we're trying to unmute.
There we go. Can you hear me, Jennifer?
I can. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. I'm trying to see if I can see that as well now that I'm presenting. Can you see my slides, Jennifer? All right, perfect. All right, excellent. Well, thank you again very much for the opportunity to be here today. As Jennifer had said, my name is Matt Borud. I'm a part of the leadership team at the Idaho Department of Commerce and lead some of our Idaho tourism efforts. Again, great to be here. Thanks to Carly, thanks to Jess, the great board. What a great video. That was awesome. It's so wonderful to see some friends there. And as you know, Jennifer had alluded to in some of her slides, this has been a very, very difficult time, and but the spirit of this group and that board, my God, what a great group of people to lead not only the city but our state as we continue to rebound and go forward. Before I begin, I wanted to share some of my favorite downtown Boise spots real quickly. I think the appropriate way to put it is that I'm an addict to Paddles Up Pokey. I don't have a problem admitting it. It is my go-to lunch spot, and I spend way too much money there. I think it's an addiction. I can also say that all of my wife's birthday gifts and anniversary gifts came from Mixed Greens very recently. My wife and I were actually just talking this weekend that kind of our last normal outing was drinks at the Mode with some friends. And we were just talking about how much we miss it and how ready we are to go grab drinks and dinner at the Oahe Tavern here really soon. So we love our downtown and really look forward to getting back out there. So my hope for today, my plan for today is to share some statewide perspective on what we're seeing at Idaho Tourism. And I'll then also drill into some regional, some Ada County and some Boise specific numbers to hopefully give a sense of what we're seeing in some cases on a week over week basis or a month over month basis. And then what we're expecting and forecasting as we go forward. I need to caveat all this with this could all be moot tomorrow. I think as we've all gotten used to the ground shifting underneath our feet. And so as we're, you know, this is still very much obviously a very fluid situation. And as we're shifted more to a regional and a local strategy for reopening, you know, there's whether additional restrictions or restrictions are extended, local decisions can certainly affect a lot of this. But we are seeing, I think, some good data and some good reasons for optimism. And I think the hope is that you know, that the increases are happening a little faster, and that the increases are happening at a greater rate to alleviate some of the concern that Jennifer shared in some of those slides, which are very real and obviously very concerning. So first of all, if you've heard me present before, or you know, any of my colleagues, we talk really regularly about Idaho. In Idaho, travel, tourism, hospitality is the state's third largest industry, behind food and ag, and then technology. And this industry supports over 45,800 jobs. As Jennifer kind of alluded to the percentage of employment, we talk about it as about 1 in 18 jobs in Idaho is in the travel, tourism, hospitality industry. Visitor spending in Idaho in 2017 was over 3.7 billion. And understanding this spending is very important because it occurs at businesses like many of yours, retail stores, restaurants, attractions, hotels, entertainment venues. And our Southwest Idaho region accounts for a significant amount of this spending in these jobs. About 1.6 billion in spending, about 15,000 direct jobs are directly in this region in the travel and tourism industry. And more importantly, this region accounts for roughly about 39% of visitation to our state based on arrival data, with close to 70% of that visitation coming from out-of-state travelers versus in-state travelers. I apologize for some of the dated numbers here with 2017. We normally do economic impact studies every 2 years. We were teed up to do another economic study at the beginning of this year that would give us 2018 and 2019 numbers. But with COVID hitting, we decided we would hold off on that so that we could get an economic impact study that took into account 2020 numbers. They're pretty pricey, and so we didn't want to produce something that didn't have 2020's impact in it. So we'll probably begin diving back into some new numbers here at the end of this year and early part of next year, which we'd be glad to share with everybody at DBA as well, to kind of update some of these numbers, particularly at a regional level. But that being said, you know, we know that this industry has been on just a tremendous trajectory, and it really is thanks to businesses like yours in Boise. Our own data bears this out from data we use regularly and also what we collect at the state. We would expect to see probably an average of 10% increase in some of those spending numbers in 2018 and 2019 heading into the first quarter of 2020. Our program at Idaho Tourism is funded through a 2% lodging tax, and we can see that we've been growing for the last 4 fiscal years at an average of 11.7% year over year. Just tremendous growth, some of the fastest per capita of anywhere in the country. You can see we ended down fiscal year 2020 in June, down 3.9% versus fiscal year 2019. Given the complete shutdown that we experienced in March and April, and then cancellations in May and June and beyond, it's really been a testament to the strong year we were having to that point, up again about 10.4% through April to ultimately end up only down about 3.9%. From a regional perspective, this area, Southwest Idaho Region 3, has grown by an average of 12.4% year over year over the last 4 years, so outpacing the state's growth. Ada County grew by an average of 8.5% year over year over the last 4 years. In 2020, Region 3 finished down 7.3% versus 2019, and Ada County finished down 17% versus 2019. You can see here there were a few other areas of the state that were hit a little harder: Region 2, Region 4, Region 5, while others were impacted slightly less. Region 1 was down just a point, and Region 7 somehow Central Idaho actually grew in fiscal year 20, which I still can't figure out how that happened. But it's important to note here, I really believe the steep decline, the reason for the steep decline in Ada County is due to reduced business travel and then conventions, group meetings, and events. Those business travel represents about 8% of travel across Idaho. However, in Southwest Idaho, that number is 11%. And so thinking about essentially 11% of travel being at essentially zero, it helps put the numbers that we'll talk about a little bit later on here in some additional perspective. But the impact, again, regionally and locally here is a big hit, because Region 3 is our largest region, and Ada County is the largest in terms of county collections. Region 3 contributes about 37% of all of the state's statewide collection figures, and Ada County represents about 2/3 of those. So it's getting downtown Boise, getting the greater Boise, getting Ada County back moving is huge for this industry. And I say all this, and despite all of this, we are optimistic. And I think, again, we're seeing numbers over the last few months that give us reason to be optimistic. I've shared this slide a few different times in other presentations I've given over the last 5 or 6 months, but our friends at U.S. Travel Association and Oxford Economics provided some early forecasts to illustrate projected impacts to this industry. And as we can see, the April, May, June numbers, I mean, really, it's really pretty ugly numbers. But I think what we were most initially concerned about was coming out of some of the shutdown. And, we knew that April and May were going to be really ugly, but what would June, July, and August look like as our economy is reopened, we're operating safely, and people are able to travel again and move without restriction. And so looking at where we were seeing kind of the 60, 55, 45 type declines, we were really nervous about that. But we've seen numbers come in better than that. Idaho and I think Boise have overperformed where we saw some of these initial projections, which again is something that we're happy about. So one of the metrics we look at is occupancy percentage, volume of rooms booked. And year to date, we're down 31.7% in the Boise market. March was down 37% versus last March. April was down 71% versus last April. May was down 56% versus last May. But we're encouraged to see that the month-over-month decline is shrinking. The orange line is going up and to the right. Our June was down only 34% versus last June. July was down only 28% versus last July. I haven't gotten our August numbers yet, but I would expect we'll continue to see that trajectory and see these numbers continue to improve. From a statewide perspective, we're down 28.2% year to date. And then we're seeing similar trends with our average daily rate, the average price for a hotel stay. Again, year to date down 14.7% versus this time 2019. March was down 2% versus last March. April was down 34% versus last April. May was down 33% versus the previous May. June down 31%, and July down 24%. So again, that line didn't didn't decrease as steeply, and it is moving in the right direction up and to the right. And one of your fabulous board members, a fabulous partner of ours, Carrie Westergaard, put together a great meeting really kind of early on where we were all wondering which way was up. And some of the people that she had present at that meeting from a recording of a national webinar talked a lot about past recoveries where you're looking at 9/11 and using the economic recovery, 08-09 economic recession there as indicators of what may happen here. And one thing that really stuck with me there was their insistence of to really do everything you can in a market to not drop your price. Don't drop that ADR, because that takes a lot longer to recover. And I think we can see that in some of our post 08-09 numbers, that it took 4 or 5 years before prices got back up to pre-recession levels. But what you do see recover faster is those occupancy numbers. You see people get back out and visit more. And so hopefully, I think what we're seeing here, and hopefully this trend continues, is that prices can stay pretty stable based on where they were pre-COVID. And so then when travelers start, that visitor volume gets back up to where we were, we'll be more close to a more solid, well-rounded economic, full kind of economic recovery. So getting back to ADR statewide, again, we're down 10.7% statewide, and again in Boise down about 14.7%. And so this puts in terms of room revenue, statewide down about 36.5%, and Boise down about 44.4%, which again, I think that delta really is due to to business travel, to the lack of the ability to do conferences, conventions, events. I think it traces pretty closely there. And I actually think we're seeing leisure travel probably overperform in this area than maybe we'd seen in previous years. So to further illustrate this point, we use a tool called AirDNA that helps us out to understand vacation rental, the vacation rental marketplaces. And it's probably no surprise to anyone here that vacation rentals have been growing exponentially over the last 4 years. Since 2017, available vacation rentals have grown by an average of 26% year over year. We joke that the eclipse, I think people kind of leading up to the eclipse, maybe I'll put my place on Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever it is, and now everybody likes it, and they just have kept doing it because you can literally see the chart from that date around the eclipse. That's where the line has continued to go. And now vacation rentals represent anywhere, the numbers fluctuate, obviously availability is very different than the static nature of hotel rooms, but anywhere from a fourth to a third of available inventory in Idaho is a vacation rental. And Ada County is no different. About 1/8 of all vacation rentals statewide occur here in Ada County. And what we're seeing from an occupancy, I'm going to skip a slide here. What we're seeing from an occupancy rate percentage, these rentals are down significantly less than we see from a traditional lodging, a STAR report that we looked at a little bit earlier, year to date down about 5.8% from occupancy percentage, and actually up year over year in July. Really only kind of taking the hit in the worst of the other months, the worst of the March, April, May, otherwise pretty flat or up. And then from that average daily rate perspective, again, down a little bit more year over year, but only down about 6%. And so vacation rentals have really they've kind of blunted some of the impact of COVID, and whether that's because they're seen as a more desirable lodging option right now. Again, we talk about safety and those elements. They really have helped, blunt the impact. A couple of other indicators that we use that I want to share is device activity. So we utilize a lot of location tracking and different things around our digital media. One of the tools we utilize is called Uber Media. And this shows week over week change in volume in the downtown Boise core. And what we're seeing, although we've got some pretty strong volatility in these last few weeks there in August, this is a week over week average growing at about 2.4%, which is not an insignificant number. Statewide, we're growing at about 1.2%, week over week. So Boise is definitely outpacing where we're at at a state level. And so again, as I kind of mentioned earlier, my hope is that these week over week numbers are able to grow at a pace and happen in a more condensed time frame to help sustain and support our small businesses as this continues and hopefully ends soon. The other piece of data that we use quite a bit is from our friends at OTAs, at online travel agencies across the country. Expedia is a great partner of ours. They very graciously shared some information with us to kind of talk about week over week search shift. And so, national search shift in terms of as Boise is the market as a destination. And week over week, Boise is growing 5%, increasing in search terms. From this time period that we're looking at here, again, we see a real big boost in the spring, early part of the summer as folks are very stir crazy and looking for vacation destinations and places to go, particularly in top markets like your Seattle, your LA, New York, Portland, Salt Lake, San Francisco, all big all big markets for us. The big steep decline is going to after the 4th of July. Search traffic drops significantly, and then we're fairly level since then. But again, positive that we're seeing that increase week over week. It's trending in the right direction, and the hope is that it that it continues. And so again, kind of going back to some of these impact projections, we know these numbers are ugly, and it's difficult to be down 30, 40, 50% or more. But again, I think it's trending a little bit better than we were initially expecting. As we look at some of our statewide numbers, we're beating a lot of these projections by about 20-25%. And so again, better than being behind the projections or being hit harder than maybe we were looking at early. And again, can we help spur this recovery so that these growth percentages are happening at a higher level and happening in a shorter amount of time. And again, we are optimistic as we see from our collections data. Our May and June were pretty ugly, but our July and August numbers have been really encouraging versus FY21 versus FY20. Particularly our August numbers that just came in statewide, down about 16.4% versus where we were last year. So that's a pretty encouraging number for us. We're now looking at being down about 19% for our fiscal year, and projecting that we'll get back to some pre-COVID numbers, probably early part of calendar year 2022. And again, we're optimistic, and we're seeing good numbers within our program, kind of along these lines. But just even in just user engagement and conversions, we're seeing our web sessions at visitidaho.org. Interest is high; they're up 55% year over year. Our online travel guide impressions are up 63% year over year. And our printed travel guides are up 55%. Our printed travel guide orders are up 55% year over year. So interest in Idaho is strong. And again, I think we all know why. Visitors from across the country are looking for outdoor destinations and safe, secure destinations. And I think that's going to serve us well as we continue to go forward in this recovery. Idaho is obviously an outdoor recreation mecca. Most of our top attractions and activities, they're outdoor oriented, water particularly. Touring the region here on this slide essentially means road trips, and this has really been the summer of road trips. And Idaho is still predominantly a drive market. Over 70% of Idaho travelers arrive via car, truck, or SUV. So in a year where air travel is down significantly, and attractions like large amusement parks or places with big crowds, bigger urban destinations aren't as desirable, Idaho has been a great destination for folks to get away from it all. And Southwest Idaho really represents kind of the perfect balance of some of those Idaho outdoor opportunities with that downtown, the restaurants, the shopping, the fine dining. Southwest Idaho is positioned perfectly, and really the DBA is the driver. Your businesses are the driver in making this happen for the region and really for our state. You can access the water and mountain biking trails and all these great outdoor activities, and then come back and have an incredible dinner or have a great retail shopping experience. You can do all of that in Boise because of the DBA and because of the opportunities that our Idaho Outdoors offers us. And so it's the perfect balance of what we're selling and what people are really looking for as we're going to go forward. So again, I think to echo Jennifer's point, what I would close with, and and kind of share from our strategy as we're going forward, is to continue to really echo and push safety and security in messaging as you're visiting with customers. Our friends at Longwoods who help us out with some traveler sentiment surveys, our most recent round, we'll be releasing some of this data at our annual conference in October. But 75% of travelers said they were very satisfied with their overall trip experience, 5 out of 5 stars, and 65% were very satisfied with the safety and security of their trip. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. And those are good metrics. Those are good numbers. And that really speaks to, again, the folks like you who deliver these experiences, doing just a first-class job in making sure that people are very satisfied and that they're feeling safe and secure, particularly in this environment. So continuing to message the safety protocols that you're taking and why your business and why downtown Boise is a safe place and a great place to, again, relax and enjoy. So again, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here. It's an honor, and I'm grateful for the hard work of this community and so many businesses here. You all are driving this, and we're going to continue to do all we can to help support at the state. So Jennifer, Carly, Blair, thank you guys very much, and we'll share this information out as well to the group. So.
Thank you, Matt.
I am Jess Carter, the board president of the Downtown Boise Association. The past few months, I've thoroughly enjoyed watching our downtown businesses persevere. From the many variations of patios, beautiful flower arrangements, new table configurations, cold beverages, and people watching. It's been incredible to see our outdoor space downtown grow. We are about to play a video about all of the people who are weathering the storm the past few months. These businesses are here for you. Please support them, whether it's sharing this video or visiting them downtown. The people of downtown Boise are here for you. This is your downtown.
We are lucky to have a variety of unique shops in downtown Boise. Our retailers make it easy to find the perfect gift or to treat yourself to something special. Shop in person, online, or over the phone. This is your downtown.
When you're looking for a service for your business, your home, or some self-pampering, Downtown Boise has you covered. From specialized printing to clothing alterations to spa services, no matter what you need, we have it here. Downtown is full of premier amenities with providers ready to assist you. This is your downtown.
Spend some time enjoying all that makes downtown Boise extraordinary. Beautiful buildings, historic and modern, art and murals and sculptures aplenty, bikeable pathways, cultural districts, flowers and green spaces, friendly faces. Downtown Boise is the best destination to feast your eyes and enjoy. This is your downtown.
Downtown Boise restaurants and establishments need you now. Patios and welcoming interiors are open for safe, leisurely dining. Online ordering for pickup or delivery is available at your fingertips. And free 20-minute curbside pickup spots are plentiful all across downtown. Support downtown business owners while also enjoying something delicious. This is your downtown.
Downtown Boise is where you've celebrated a new job or a birthday, treated yourself to an ice cream cone, a cozy sweater, or a new haircut, where you gather with friends and family to mark milestones in life. We hope that you leave this meeting knowing that downtown businesses and the people behind these businesses have been here for you. Now is the time for us to be there for them. This is your downtown.